good, y'all? It's your boy Kuya P and my pal Webster Style.
What's up?
Here for another KayFabeyBaby
Baby.
NRW Ring Generals podcast. Again, Sean Mongo took in another L, gotten Jay Cargill out of the. He says hello though. I spoke with him. He's been dealing with a lot in life and work and everything, but he does send his love. He's trying to make his way in. And I think I might have been a failure on my part, maybe for this week's episode, because he was like, hey, make sure you text me or whatever. But also, Sean, when you see this episode, there's a calendar thing too. I up the calendar frequently, and everybody that knows me and loves me and hates me and all the same thing, Web Style, you can attest.
Many calendar invites and updates.
I send a lot of invites.
Yes.
I'm a calendar freak. That is just how I do my business, or else I won't know shit because I just caught up. So I will update you if we're vibing or if we're doing shit together. You will get an update,
Right?
maybe more than you would desire.
Yes,
That's how much I update.
right.
So Sean, check the calendar. But anyway, none but love to you, brother. I probably said I'd text them, so I'll take the L on that. But shout out to my boy Sean. But yeah, KayFabeyBaby back again. My man Webster Style, your boy Kuya P. Last episode we came back and talked a lot of wrestling because there was a lot of PLEs, pay-per-views as of this recording this past weekend. We had Saturday night's main events. We had AEW All In. We had the Great American Bash, and the one that's getting the ring from me from the past weekend was Evolution. And it's because y'all already know, if you watch KayFabeyBaby, I'm all about women's wrestling, and this show proved why women's wrestling is some of the best wrestling out there. And I'm glad a lot of people are saying that online. I think my boy Webster Style agrees.
Yeah, I agree.
Such an event this weekend.
Look, I think we said last week that this would probably be the sleeper event of the weekend, more so than All In, which was really good from everything I've heard and seen.
Same. I actually want to kind of peep some of the, I've peeped some stuff, but yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Like we said, this was probably the sleeper show of the weekend, and that was a show everybody was talking about. When the news started to come out, that's what I cared about as far as what happened, especially Naomi. Like I was like, and we called it. We said there would be a cash in too.
We'll get into it. We'll do a whole Evolution talk, man.
Okay.
I want to dig into that a little bit more. But let's talk about just the other ones real quick. Let's get into, I'll just bring them up quickly. I'm actually pulling it up right now as we speak.
Okay.
We'll start with Great American Bash. That kind of preceded everything, and then it headed into AEW All In and Saturday night's main event with Evolution closing us out. So let's talk on them briefly, brother. Before we get into some of the other things we want to talk about, and we can obviously skip over things, because we want to give more time to the stuff we really want to talk about.
Right, exactly.
Because again, it didn't. Let's be honest, stuff just didn't excite us. It was just kind of pushed out there. So I'll go through this card real quick. NXT Great American Bash from this past weekend. Javon Evans beat Jasper Troy. We called that.
Yeah.
Bull Ruka and Zarya defeating Izzy Dame.
We called that.
Ethan Page defeated Ricky Saints.
We didn't call that.
Yeah, I think you said Ricky Saints, right?
Yeah,
I picked the other. I went against
you pick all,
just to make it interesting.
Yeah.
I like both, and I don't think it hurts either.
No, me either.
Yeah. Obafemi defeated Yoshiki Inamura.
Yep.
Retaining his championship. And Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe defeated Fatal Influence, which was a weird precursor to what would then happen with Evolution.
Very true.
So,
I think, we
quick
called
thoughts on that events, though. When I looked at some of the playback, why are they still doing some of this? It's like they go in between a small arena and a large arena with NXT.
I think some of it is they going back and forth between the PC, because I was watching the other night, and I was like, oh, they're in a performance center. It's a noticeable difference compared to, I think, this week coming, they're in Houston, so you'll see that larger crowd there.
Yeah. I just think when you're doing, though, I understand, but not for a PLE. Yeah,
that was kind of weird, especially with Evolution the next night.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, but maybe that's part of just making, I guess in many respects, NXT is kind of their indie brand, so to speak, that developed. So they're patterning a lot off of that, the indie stuff, and sort of smaller, more intimate crowds. And I guess also NXT is supposed to be their gateway to the main roster.
True.
Hopefully NXT tickets are not as crazy as the main roster tickets are now, but
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I just wanted to point out, no shade, no hate or whatever, but it just becomes glaringly present when
Yes.
you see them do PLEs with large crowds, and just the back and forth, just you notice it. You know what I'm saying? You can't help but notice it. And so, and what's crazy about it all is it's one of the hottest things. And I think we all know how hot NXT is. Shawn Michaels is doing a bang up job down there with the amount of talent he has. So it's just becomes interesting when that goes down. So anything quick outside of what we mentioned, highlights that you want to spotlight?
We kind of overall, you know, it was a good show. NXT. I can't say I've ever seen a really a bad NXT pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was a good show. You know, kind of things went how we expected for the most part. And, you know, you had some things that led into Evolution the next night.
All right. Let's head over to shit, I didn't pull up AEW All In. So let's head over to Saturday night's main event, and then I'll pull up the AEW. We had the big retirement, but to close us out. But before we get there, we had RKO with Jelly Roll defeating Drew McIntyre with Logan Paul in his corner.
Have you seen the aftermath of that?
I recently, on my way home from the office this morning or this afternoon, saw that apparently
Jimmy
Logan
Kimmel
Paul and Jelly Roll was on like some
Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. Okay, you saw that. That was great. That was absolutely great. I was worried after this match, like, what are they going to do? But it reminds me of, and it's not that extreme, but you remember back in WCW that feud between Raven and DDP when Raven showed up on MTV and hit DDP with that stop sign. That's what it reminded me of, like the shot, because I didn't expect that to happen. When I saw the clip, I'm like, oh, you know, just Jelly Roll subbing for Jimmy Kimmel, talking to Randy Orton, and then everything. And then Jelly Roll just put him through the desk. I was like, I did not see that coming. I'm impressed. I'm
so you
interested
like this
in the
crossover
storyline
with entertainment and Hollywood, if you will.
Yeah, and then again, WWE is not, you know, they're no strangers to that. But I think that this was just well done.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let me finish up with the card that was main event, Saturday night's main event. Excuse me. Randy Orton with Jelly Roll defeating Drew McIntyre with Logan Paul. We had Solo Sikoa, our current champion of the holding the United States Championship, defeating Jimmy Uso. I think we called that one. LA Knight defeating Seth Rollins, which we have to talk about. I think there was an injury that what I was seeing in the aftermath of that.
Yes.
And then we also had Gunther defeating Goldberg in his retirement match that on the internet found out he got cut off, and that was a big uproar. So thoughts on all of that?
I haven't seen the match yet, but I heard it was good. Like, that was surprising. Like, stuff I saw in it, I was like, they said it was a good match. I'm like, oh, snap. My stars and garters. We got a good match out of Goldberg, and he showed out. And I think, you know, give props to Gunther, too, the ring general, for that one also. But I was surprised hearing what I heard as far as people's reviews online, not just like the talking heads, but just like regular people, like people I follow on Twitter. Like, people were really impressed and happy with his retirement match. I think overall, like, you know, Saturday night's main event, there was nothing we were really interested in, realistically. I am surprised that they gave LA Knight the win over Seth. That's surprising, but I'm happy about that. You know, maybe he'll finally get that main event push. I don't know if they'll ever put him in for real in a title picture, but at least he's sniffing it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
All right. So I'm kind of still blasé. I've been still, as you know, Webster style, catching up, so I wasn't really tracking. But do you think this injury to Seth is? I didn't see it, but there was a lot of talk online that he's injured. Do you know?
Yeah,
Did you see the same thing?
It's a knee injury. Yeah. He was on some show Monday or Tuesday where he did confirmed he had an injury. And so it was, again, this is the real world, so I'm assuming it's for real. And that he will be out for a while. But again, he's money in the bank. He got a year to cash it in.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't...
It's just a pause on the storyline.
Yeah, that derails immediate plans, but,
Yeah. All right, let's head over to AEW All In, man, and then close it out with Evolution and then getting into some Slammiversary conversation real quick. AEW All In, we had an 8-man tag team match. The Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, Marshall Von Erich, Ross Von Erich, Sammy Guevara, with Kevin Von Erich there in the corner, defeating Shane Taylor Promotions, which was Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Charlie Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean, with Anthony Ogogo and Trish Dora in their corner. We also had another 8-man tag team match with Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, Hologram, and Tomohiro Ishii, with Big Justice and the Rizzler. This outside I can't stand it. Defeating the Don Callis family of Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. We had FTR defeating the Outrunners. The Ops, Shibata, Hobbs, and Joe defeating the Death Riders, Castagnoli, Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. We had MJF pinning Roderick Strong, which was for the future AEW World Championship. We also have Dustin Rhodes defeating Daniel Garcia, who is now the AEW TNT champion. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay defeating the Young Bucks, which now makes them the EVPs. Athena defeating Mina Shirakawa for the future AEW World Championship match in the Gauntlet match over on the women's side. Hurt Syndicate defeated Jet Speed and Speedball Mike Bailey, as well as the Patriarchy in the 3-way tag team championship for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So the champions retained. Tony Storm, champion. I know we're going to talk about this. Defeating Mercedes Moné. A little bit of surprise there.
Very much surprised.
We'll have the convo on this. Okada, the Continental Champion, defeating Kenny Omega, the International Champion. So that unifies the AEW and creates the AEW Unified Championship. And then Hangman Adam Page defeating the former champion Jon Moxley and is now the AEW World Champion. A lot there. Thoughts on All In, sir? My biggest thing was, obviously, I'm a women's wrestling guy.
Right.
Timeless. I don't think it hurt it either or. We were both kind of, well, I don't know if you had called it. I have to do the playback. I was thinking, they're going to give Moné. It's going to be.
Yeah, me too. We both wanted Tony, but we thought it was going to give it to Mercedes. Yeah.
So I kind of like that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Either way, I love them both. I love them both. So what were your vibes when you heard that? And what were any of your other surprises from All In?
I was happy that Tony won. Definitely. It was a good match. Probably, honestly, I would say one of the best Mercedes he's had since she came to AEW, personally speaking. Tony's speech afterwards, she always, I swear, entertaining. She got that sports entertainment stick down.
It's like she got kicked out of WWE and she was like, you know what? Fuck y'all. Let me show you what I'm about. Yeah. And she delivered since she left, man.
I did not see the patriarchy turning on Christian. Didn't see that coming.
That's what happened?
Yeah. So the patriarchy turned on Christian. Nick Wayne turned on him. Copeland came out, told him instead of go F himself, go find himself. So that was cool. So maybe a reunion of those two are coming down the pipe eventually, which I would love to see. I think the only other things, I'm surprised MJF won the gauntlet. I'm not mad at that, but I'm surprised only because he is one of the top stars. So I feel like, you didn't give anybody else that, but Hurt Syndicate now has the AEW Tag Team Championships and MJF has, he's part of Hurt Syndicate, but MJF has the title shot. So it's essentially like their money in the bank. You can cash it in any time. So they are definitely holding all of the chips, no pun intended, since it was a gauntlet, casino gauntlet. And then they pulled out all the stops of that championship match. Daniel Bryan came back. Darby Allin came back. just to make sure that Hangman won. I am surprised. Like I told you, I wanted Hangman to win because I wasn't feeling this whole Death Riders Moxley thing. I feel like it's one of those things where it started off good. You thought like there was some higher entity or something controlling, notwithstanding the whole Shane McMahon rumors, whatnot, back when it started. But nothing, in my opinion, really came of it outside of them trying to act like outsiders, but really not, and just being badasses. And it ran thin. The stick ran thin, in my opinion. I wish there was more depth to it, but then we never really got a lot more depth to it, to the whole thing, the whole storyline. The characters of the Death Riders, in my opinion, except for the whole stint with Wheeler Yuta and him trying to soul search. And like, I enjoyed that. I thought that was really good considering. But for the most part, it's done. Hangman's champion. Let's see how they do this afterwards.
Yeah. So you're hoping that the Death Riders are finally dead with this loss.
At least it's iteration, because they don't have the tag champion, the 3-man tag championship anymore. They have no gold, so they have no leverage. So I'm hoping they go back. They like Moxley gives them, because look, Moxley's a workhorse. I ain't crapping on any of what they do between Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Castagnoli now. Kid is part of the faction. Like they've been carrying a lot of weight, or at least trying to, with storylines with AEW the past few months. Give them a break, retool them, have them come back. If the same, like find a way to make it work better, or figure out something different to do with them. Well, this is one of the things about wrestling that I love. There's always room for reinvention. Take a little time off, come back someone or something totally different, and to see if that gets over. And it's always a way of trying to find a new way of giving the fans something more. So that's what I'm always looking forward to. What happens next? How do they do this next? So with the Death Riders, I'm looking forward to it. With Hangman, I'm looking forward to see, MJF is circling, but then I doubt they're pulling that trigger soon. So who are they going to put into the championship picture? Because I doubt they're going to pull the swerve trigger again, since they supposedly mend their fences.
If MJF got that one win in the gauntlet, doesn't that automatically default to have them have that happen now?
I think he calls when he does it, though, like the Money in the Bank. So I think I may be wrong. It may be at the next pay-per-view. I don't know. But I thought he called the shots on when it happened. So I don't know. But I'm curious to see. They need to, in my opinion, do a better job elevating people in a championship echelon. And I don't think they have done, especially with the talent they have, for right now, I don't think they've done a good job of that. I don't think anybody wants to see Hangman and Omega. I don't think, Okada's in that mid-card realm, and again, surprised that they kept the belt on Okada, but, still, Joe is out now because of Twisted Metal Season 3. So who do they have? I think Ospreay is going to be out for a while too. So outside of Swerve and MJF, who do you think of that's like in that world championship picture right now?
Yeah.
So that's something they need to do. So I'm interested to see, at least in my opinion. So I'm interested to see who, or multiple people, who they move into that orbit of the title. So I think one thing the WWE, and I hate to compare it, but the one thing WWE has done really well, they have a lot of people in orbit of that championship scene. We talked about LA Knight and Seth. LA Knight has been in orbit of that for a while, even when he was United States champion. There are people who you can easily slot into that picture. And we saw a lot of that when Roman Reigns had that title reign. It's very easy to slot people in and have them take them down. AEW, in my opinion, has not done that level of booking where, in my opinion, it's easy to slide people in. They're playing people slide in. It's just they have not done a good job of me as a viewer believing that person should be in that title picture.
Word. I'm with it. Yeah, I'm curious. I think to your point earlier of transforming themselves, they have the best representative in in the past 5 years in Tony Storm on how you can evolve and change yourself. As we said it, she's one of my favorite stars over there. And now even with this win and Mercedes, not taking it, they're both going to be doing bang up jobs. Mercedes still got all them other belts. So it's going to be very interesting, but they can take some notes from the women. Again, shout out to my women's wrestling fans.
Can I say this though? I will give AEW credit. They have been in the past few weeks doing a very good job of trying to really, no pun intended, evolve their women's division to make me care about it. Because I just saw Julia Hart, Sky Blue just teamed with the Spider Chick, so I'm interested in that. They're doing what they're doing with Athena and a couple other people. Like even some of the mid-card stuff, like I Will Always Be a Thunder Rosa stan. And what they're doing with her, and a couple of I give them credit. We've knocked them a lot before, but they are definitely getting better with their booking of the women over the past couple weeks specifically. So I'm really happy about that, and I think that especially with Monet remaining TNT champion, and now you're sliding Athena into that picture, which is honestly, I think if anybody takes some tone, it should be Athena, personally speaking. And that's because just they built her up so well. I think that would be a discredit to her if she lost in her opportunity, personally speaking. Tony, like we said before, she'd be all right. That character work will get her over every single time. But I think that, definitely they've done a really good job over the past 2 weeks. I give them a lot of credit and kudos for that.
All right. So speaking of women, let's knock out Evolution. And then we'll close it out with our Slammiversary picks, more so you. I'm not all the way up on TNA yet. So let's talk the card of Evolution, Webster style. We had Becky Lynch retaining her championship against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. We had JC Jane defeating Jordan Grace. I know we'll probably talk a little bit about that because of a turn from Blake Monroe. But can you really call it a turn? She just got there. We just didn't see her.
Yeah, for real. We ain't know her.
A little bit of a turn because of Great American Bash. We'll say that.
Right.
So the Judgment Day defeating both Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, as well as Sol Ruka and Zarya and the Kabuki Warriors in that fatal four-way women's tag team match. We had Tiffany Stratton defeating Trish to retain, Jade Cargill defeating Naomi, Stephanie Vaquer winning the 20 women battle royal. And I was, about to call you because she won by defeating Lash Legend. So respect on Lash.
Right.
But as I said, we knew, I would have loved to have seen it, but we also know what they're doing, Steph. And much love to Steph too, because she's amazing. So, but it was great to see. And that bodes well, I got to say, to what I hope that they will do with Lash eventually. That we both hope, because she's a beast.
Yeah, she is.
And then the amazing match that Io and Rhea did, that then became a triple threat tag team match in the final part of it, with Naomi defeating them both to cash in and get the championship. But what a fucking match in that match.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
Yeah, just really well done. So thoughts, what are some of your favorite events of the night or happenings with that?
I would say, we didn't know who was going to win the women's battle royal. I am surprised.
You called Lash, and you were almost.
Yeah, I did call Lash. And
I said Steph.
Yeah,
but I would have been happy with both.
I'm happy about that. I think that was a good call. Definitely push her. I would say push her ass to the moon, but that may have different connotations.
We love them back shots, bro.
Yeah. So happy about that. I think, let me tell you, the four-way match, I enjoyed it. I love the fact that Asuka's still like, they're like her and Kyrie. Heist. Like they're like in leather clad, especially Oscar. I love like it's Oscar, but it's still you got that character change with both of them. I'm loving that. I will always be an Oscar stan, so she can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. But again, and just even I could care less about the women's tag team titles in many respects. So I was like, yeah, okay. Judgment Day still won. I don't remember what we said, but I don't think either one was surprised.
I was happy to see how well they match up together, Roxanne and Raquel. They were doing some stuff that it was kind of cool, and I gotta give love to Alexa and Charlotte, man. There was some character work and some stuff there that was kind of interesting. So
I'll say this though,
the women brought it.
Roxanne is an upgrade from Liv. So
as a performer, yes.
As a performer, yes.
Yes.
Look, no disrespect to Liv Morgan, but they don't call, and I'll call her by the ROH name, Roxy the Prodigy for nothing.
Exactly.
The girl is good. The girl is good.
More movesets.
Yes. Who else? But yeah, that
Bailey. Let's Becky Lynch defeating Bailey and Lyra. I was a little bit upset with that.
Yeah,
but we knew.
Yeah, we knew, and that sets up what's happening in SummerSlam. So
yeah,
but that the title match, man. And Tiffany and Trish, I didn't even see that because I didn't care.
Yeah, it was kind of blasé.
Yeah.
The JC Jane Jordan match.
Yeah.
With the Blake turn.
I am surprised.
I'm upset with it. We're still not giving it to Jordan, man.
Much like what we said, when they need to put the title on her, I really think they need to. And this is a second opportunity she's had, and I forgot how she lost the first time, but she got screwed out of it this time.
Yes.
And now they're setting things up. Who knows who will have the NXT Women's title after this weekend? So, it's one of those things where I'm disappointed, but also now you're setting up a feud with Jordan and Monroe, and I'm like, she just got there. You can't really you think of booking wise, like you can't really have her lose when they come together. It's like I'm not feeling the heel turn.
They're screwing over Muscle Muffin, man.
Look, they may prove me wrong. But right now, I'm not feeling it. And I'm just like, are they going to have Jordan give her the rub? And then she shows up on the main roster if I ever win the NXT championship, which I would be very disappointed. I feel like they need to give her a reign.
Yeah. If there's one thing I'm disappointed in is this of the whole night.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're totally I think she's a great performer, and just she's got Superman energy. She's just got good vibes energy, which some people say that she doesn't have character. She's not hardcore or gritty enough. We have enough of that. To me, she's like a Superman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She doesn't have to be a badass. All like that. She's just you see her like that's a superhero. That's a women's wrestler right there. That's what I love about her. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have to be edgy. I agree. So I just feel like they're gonna waste what they've done with Jordan.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's slide over, man, because we want to get your Slammiversary in there. The title match, Rhea, Io, banger, and then Naomi. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the press conference.
Yeah, I saw it.
Naomi is killing it, sir.
Man, and it's hard to even call her a heel.
I know, right?
I love this is, you know what? And I keep saying this. She had to go to TNA for her to really understand what they had with her. Like for real. Like the old man screwed up, letting them go. She went to TNA, had a banger run, and Triple H's like, oh, we need to bring her back. And he has, look, we talk about sometimes the booking. Her booking has been great since she came back. Okay. And her heel turn, because I don't feel like she's a heel. She's just like, she got a chip on her shoulder. And she's like, I've been here for 10 years. Y'all gonna respect me. And she ain't wrong. she ain't wrong. Her evolution, no pun, actually, no pun intended in this case.
Yes.
It's great, and her promo work, her ring work has all been great. But like this attitude she has, like just takes her promo work to a whole nother level. And it's we talked about a cash in. I think we both probably thought it would be against Tiffany in that match, which but nobody expected it to be cashed in with Rhea and EO. And the fact that they're going to run it back again officially SummerSlam is like, I'm like, I know they're going to take the title off of it that soon, but again, the title picture, at least on Raw, is deep. Because you got a lot of women they could slide in, outside of those three. So I'm interested to see what, but yeah, this is definitely like Naomi's best run ever. This is her best run, and her second best run, honestly, is a run in Trinity in TNA, like straight up. Also, too, and I know she's won a championship before, but I think that run in TNA, with her being Knockouts champion, especially her feuding with Jordan, like really showed how much she could carry a company. And I think they saw that. At least Triple H saw that, because we know the old man. Yeah, the old man. But yeah, so I'm very happy about that, and I'm looking forward to see what they do, because she's fire. She's on fire right now, straight up.
And EO and Rhea running it back, that was banger, and yeah, just all the convo about how Rhea never got there, and then she was there, and then just good story building. The referee got knocked out. She had it. Then it gets taken out of the ring. And just to build that, to give that intro to the obvious, you broke each other even more down.
Right.
Here's two people at their wits' end. Oh, I got a thing that I can cash in,
Exactly.
It just was a great intro into that Naomi thing. And then Naomi just delivering, and even further. They're, again, women's wrestling, brother. Deserves its own show. One of the things I was a little bit upset about during that press conference, Triple H was like, they're part of the other stuff. Yeah, that's true. But maybe a match night here and there. They need their own thing every now and then.
I agree.
At least if they're not going to give them their own show, at least give them their own PLE once a year. Not every 5 years or 8 years in this instance, I think.
It's been 8 years.
Because somebody brought that up. Go ahead.
It's been 8 years since the last Evolution?
5 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, I think, 5 sounds about right.
Yeah,
it's been too long. Even if it's every other year.
So if you're not going to give them their own series, at least let them have their own featured event, not just a match or two here and there. Like, they deserve it, bro.
Yeah, the way, like I said, every other year. I maybe not every year. I would love it every year, but I think we get stale of this every year, honestly. Every other year maybe, but not every 5 years. Nah, that's
Nah. I just need more frequency as a women's wrestling fan, bro. I think these women are killing it, man, and just showing proven they deserve some spotlight. All right, sir, let's head over to Slammiversary. That's the big event this weekend, right?
Yep.
All right, let's talk the matches. We'll start with the TNA Knockouts World Championship and the NXT Women's Championship in a title versus title match. Masha Slamovich with TNA versus JC Jane with NXT. Help me understand here, because
I'm going
they're
Masha.
actually doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm going Masha. I think this is what I'm thinking. They put the TNA title on Trick, so they put the NXT title on Masha. Especially, no disrespect to JC Jane, she is not the one.
And that's what they were trying to say during the whole Jordan match, but but look what happened. But that's also due to shenanigans.
Yeah. And I also don't think that TNA is putting their title on another WWE wrestler, personally speaking. Especially not the Knockouts Championship. I think if it was Jordan, they would do it. Just because she's been Knockouts champion before. But I don't see that. And then especially how they have built up Masha Slamovich since did she beat Jordan? I think she beat Jordan. I don't see her losing to JC Jane. If she loses, it would not be clean at all.
Yeah.
Because because when Masha just defeated Killer Kelly, her former tag team partner, and they had a tag team called MK Ultra. And they were the shit, in my opinion, especially with the Knockouts Championship. So I actually like Killer Kelly more than Masha, but I like Masha. Masha's a great in-ring performer. Like she's up there. Like she's deserving to be the TNA Knockouts champion. So for her to lose to JC, I will be very upset because I think that's when that will be a devaluing of that championship, in my opinion. And again, that's only because I don't think JC is that person to beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Person, if it was Jordan, if it was Lash, it was Stephanie Vaquer, it was any other people in the past couple months, years, hell, even Indy. If they were NXT Women's Champion, they beat Masha, I'm like, all right, cool, I get it. But not JC Jane. Again, no disrespect to her, but I will be upset as a fan. I was like, that's not a good look, personally speaking. So I'm going with Masha. And I think that, again, turnabout is fair play. They did it with the TNA championship on Trick. Do it with the NXT championship on Masha.
So in title versus title, if Masha wins, does she keep both?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how that plays out. And then she could possibly only. So if she retains, she could then you wrestle this one against maybe Jordan. So maybe that could be how Jordan can get the belt back.
And that's actually smart. It's actually
because I need my girl Jordan to have a title, man.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them doing that. Put it on Masha, so that way Jordan doesn't beat JC or whatever, and you have to run it back, and then you got all the archival footage from TNA of their feuds, so you can build it up. That's actually smart, in my opinion. But because WWE loves their packages.
Exactly. So, all right, I just get the title to Jordan.
Yeah,
I need to start that as a hashtag. Get the title to Jordan. All right, brother. Let's head over to the Elegance brand. Current champions: Ashton by Elegance and Heather by Elegance. With M by Elegance and the personal concierge. I need to know what's up with TNA versus the Inspiration, former Iconics Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. Who do you got? Elegance brand versus Inspiration.
I'm going to Inspiration. I've always liked them. I was surprised when they came back. So I'm thinking them because the Elegance brand has had a chokehold on the titles for a little bit now. So and shout out the former Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance, and I love what they've done with that. How they've evolved her character now. It's a whole brand and everything. I'm feeling the storytelling there, but I still gotta go with the Iconics.
All right,
the Inspiration, not the Iconics. Formerly the Iconics.
I love them as the Iconics, but okay, Inspiration now. They were just cool together. I love their energy. Let's head over to Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander.
That's gonna be a banger,
right?
That's gonna be
some fast moving dudes, man.
Yes.
Who you got in that, Jones?
Look, that might be the match of the night. Honestly, that's tough. That's really tough, especially with that storyline. I don't know. I'm going with Cedric. Just because that's right. Like that furthers the storyline with all of that. I know that like they were talking about like how Cedric beat Mustafa for the the cruiserweight belt on 205 Live, and like the one person he couldn't beat, and I feel like don't give it to Cedric.
Okay. Let's head over to Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell in a singles match. I didn't know Indy went over to TNA.
Yeah, she signed a couple months ago. Yeah, I'm going to Indy. Look.
Yeah, because you got feelings about Blanchard.
Look, as much as we can't stand Tessa Blanchard, right? I'll say this. she is serving her purpose in her current time in TNA. She is serving her purpose as far as putting people over and advancing storylines. And this is a really good way for Indy to put herself up there with being in contention for the TNA Knockouts Championship. Because look, I know they're props, but Tessa is still a former TNA Knockouts champion. She is still a she's an Impact Knockouts champion. She is an former Impact World Champion, the first and only woman to ever hold the World Championship. Indy, for being a new blood, a new knockout in the division, going over Tessa, that puts her up there in contention in conversation with being in the Knockout Championship. So I'm going Indy because it makes sense to me.
I dig that. And I got to say, despite our feelings on her, you got to have respect that Tessa's,
Look, I've always liked Tessa's ring ability. I just don't like her as a person.
Exactly. And you kind of give a little bit of respect that, using her, she obviously must know who she is or whatever, but to bring up these other people. So
yeah, definitely.
A little bit of respect there. Not few, because we still think you're a racist bitch. But anyway, let's head over to the TNA World Tag Team Championship for the four-way tag team ladder match, bro. We got the Nemeth versus the Hardys versus the Rascals versus First Class.
Let me tell you, in the words of Jim Ross, it's going to be a slobber knocker.
I can see by this card, yeah.
I'm going with First Class because they have been getting
AJ Francis?
Yeah.
KC Navarro? Yes. I don't know who KC Navarro is, but I know AJ.
But they have been getting a lot of shine, especially with being associated with Trick. So I can see that happening. And I think the Nemeth still have the title.
Yeah, they're the current champions.
Yeah. So is Nemeth, Rascals, First Class, and who else?
Nemeth, Hardys.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Gosh, of course the Hardys are in it. God, look.
They're still going, bro. That I gotta give respect. Their bodies are hurting.
I know.
They're going, bro.
I'm going First Class. I can see them pulling that trigger. So I'm going First Class.
I'm gonna give them love there. Hey, if you give them love, I'll give them love. All right, bro. TNA X Division Championship. Moose, current champion, versus Leon Slater.
I'm going Leon Slater. I think if he wins, he will be the youngest X Division champion ever. Moose has had the title for a while, and he's won it well. But I think they should get back to a high flyer for the X Division, and that is Leon Slater. So I'm going with Leon.
All right.
That's if there's no system involvement, which there probably will be, but still.
All right, let's close it out for the TNA World Championship 3-way match. Trick, Joe Hendry, Santana. Who you got?
I'm calling Santana. I feel like this is a great way to put the belt on him. I also feel like this is what I think, my fantasy booking. I think Santana's going to get the pin on Joe, so that way Trick does not get pinned. But I also think Dark State might get involved in the shenanigans too, because they're working that storyline all right now. So I want Santana. I don't want Trick to win. I can still see them keeping Trick, but Slammiversary is like their WrestleMania. So if they're going to pull the trigger on Santana, this is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
The perfect event to do it, in my opinion.
Got to bring the title back to the to its organization.
And supposedly AJ Styles might be there. So I was thinking maybe AJ Styles gets involved as well. At least that's my fantasy booking, if that's the case. They said he may be in attendance. I'm thinking, he should get involved in that title match to make sure Trick loses.
Yeah.
And think about the storyline you can set up in WWE with that.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's interesting, the sliding back and forth. It's kind of like you used to kind of like you can automatically think who's going to win and forecast, but they are playing around, which is great.
Yeah. And it's exciting. We don't know what's going to happen. And I think like before when I was talking about TNA, that was one of the things I really loved because of the unpredictability. And more so with this back and forth with NXT, you really don't know what's going to happen. And I'm really enjoying that. And it's really exciting. And their ticket sales and crowds are a result of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna hit you up. I think they're coming to Baltimore.
Yeah, I was
soon.
looking.
I've been getting those emails.
Yeah, their tickets are. Yeah, we talking about probably after taxes, $100 a person. That's for decent seats, maybe. So
yeah,
I was looking at that too.
All right, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about.
I forgot it was a pay per view though. I thought it was just like regular Impact. I'm like, all right, I can deal with that.
Yeah. So we'll chat on that. But let's close this out, brother.
Yes,
What do you have going on over at Sartorial and Geek?
Nothing at the moment. I got a lot of stuff I got to edit. I haven't. Well, I told you guys last time some of the things is going on, but it's a lot going on. So I have content coming. I just have to finish it and put it out there.
All right, that's my brother Webster Style. All the love. You know I'm here for you always, sir. Never forget that. You're always in my corner. I appreciate you. Everybody, our love to Sean. Again, we'll get him up. I'll have to text this brother because apparently you don't pay attention to his Google Calendar.
Nope.
So that's what's up with Sean. You're on Nerds World. You know what we're doing. We got a lot of things going on. As a matter of fact, I've got to wind this up because I have more content coming y'all's way. So let me get to that. And go check out Checkpoint as well, where you'll also see Webster Style with our pal Brian Saff talking all things gaming. You're going to want to not miss that if you're a gamer. All right, that's my brother Webster Style. I'm Kuya P. Let's get up out of here in a 1, 2, 3. Peace,
you come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning.
I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no! That's interesting.